Hello and welcome to my channel. I am the Western Viking and today I will be showing you a part of the historical city center of my beautiful home city of Antwerp. More specifically, I will be showing you a medieval castle named Het Steen or The Rock. A lot of my viewers are from America, Canada and Brazil. So I think you guys will be quite interested in seeing a real medieval castle, since there aren't any of those over in the New World. When we get to that castle, I will also tell you some very interesting facts about it. So, we are now in front of the Cathedral of Antwerp. I could tell you lots of interesting stuff about this massive medieval cathedral as well, but today we are focusing on the medieval castle The Rock. We will go over the great marketplace of Antwerp because I first wanted to show you guys a statue on it of a historical figure named Brabo, which is relevant to the history of our castle. But unexpectedly there was a public folk spectacle going on there. So I decided to just let you watch the spectacle instead and tell you about Brabo later in the video. Let's have a look at these traditional celebrations on the beautiful and historically rich marketplace of Antwerp.
Today is still with
I learned afterwards that this folk spectacle was a celebration for the reopening of the historical city hall after years of renovations. Unexpected, but it made for some great footage for you guys. That was certainly interesting to witness and at the end also a bit funny. Antwerp has two football clubs and they are arch rivals. During that song that was playing, people were all singing along but chanting different slogans depending on which club they support. By the way, that guy giving a speech on the big screen was the mayor of Antwerp. He's not the worst mayor, but he's also not that great. You know, politicians, they all suck in my opinion. Okay, now let's head on over to the castle. We are very close. Right ahead, we have the river named the Schelde. Interesting fact, the name of that river comes from Scaldis, which was the name given to that river by the Romans over 2000 years ago. And there we see the castle Het Steen, or the Rock. Let's go and have a closer look. So here we are at Het Steen, or the Rock. It is not the biggest castle, but it is in fact the oldest building in Antwerp. The current form we see was built between the year 1200 and 1225. There was, however, a previous castle here as early as the 9th century. In the 9th century, these lands were part of the Frankish Empire. The Normans invaded these parts in 879, so that first castle may have been built by the Franks as a defensive bastion against the Viking incursions. According to the legends, however, there was a fortress here even earlier than that, during the reign of Julius Caesar 2000 years ago. Such historical value this place has, it's astonishing. So let me tell you about one of these legends, because it is an interesting story and a vital piece of the cultural identity of Antwerp. As I said earlier, I initially wanted to show you and tell you about the statue on the Great Marketplace first. It is a statue of a Roman legionary named Brabo. The legend goes as follows. A very long time ago, in the time when Julius Caesar had conquered these lands and named it to be the province of Belgica, a Roman legionary named Silvius Brabo came here to explore these marshy terrains. In those times, there was not yet a big city here, but what was already here were some towns and also a fortress situated right on the spot where Het Steen is standing now. Just as it is now, it was situated right on the banks of the river Scaldis, which we now call the Schelde. This fortress was the home of a terrible giant named Antigoon. It was in fact the perfect outpost for the giant to terrorize seafarers passing by. In contrast to normal people, the giant Antigoon, with his 10-meter long height, had no problems crossing the marshy waters. Every time a ship tried to pass by the fortress, the giant would show up next to the ship and demand them to pay a toll. If the seafarer could not pay the toll, Antigoon would cut off his hand and throw it in the water. Because of this tyrannical giant, less and less trading ships came to these parts, resulting in more poverty among the regular townspeople. Many men had tried to fight back against the giant, but all of them had suffered a terrible fate, being crushed to death by Antigoon's massive club. Until one day, the brave Roman legionary named Silvius Brabo decided he would dare to challenge the giant to a fight. After a long and thrilling fight, to everyone's astounding, Brabo emerged victorious, killing the giant. He then cut off the hand of Antigoon and threw it as far as he could into the river. The people cheered and celebrated, and after this event, the city would forever be known as Antwerpen, which comes from Handwerpen, meaning throwing a hand. To this day, the symbol of Antwerp is still a hand, and you will find images of a hand showing up in many places in this city. The legend about Brabo slaying the giant is in fact so important in Antwerp that after Roman rule, and then later after Frankish rule, the city would be part of the Grand Duchy of Brabant, also named after Silvius Brabo. The Grand Duchy of Brabant then later became part of the Holy Roman Empire, aka the First German Empire, as a semi-autonomous region from 1183 until 1794. So now that you know about this important urban legend and surrounding history, we will have a closer look inside the castle. You know, nowadays we may have excelled and innovated in many areas, but in a field like architecture we have greatly declined. I wish modern buildings would be built in these beautiful styles that our ancestors used. I am a big advocate of architectural revival and opposed to the ugly modern building styles. What is your opinion about modern day building styles? Let me know in the comment section below. Look at this beauty. There above the arch we see 5 emblems concerning the city and its history. The first one is of course a red hand, being the symbol of Antwerp. The second one is a castle with 2 hands and above it the 2-headed eagle of the Holy Roman Empire. Then the third emblem is the golden lion on a black background, which was the coat of arms of the Duchy of Brabant. You may have also noticed this beautiful black and gold flag waving over the castle tower earlier. The fourth emblem is another castle with hands representing the old medieval city center. And then the fifth symbol is a laurel wreath with 3 red roses and 3 white roses. These 6 roses symbolize 6 Antwerp rights from its historical medieval laws. And here we see my favorite decoration of this building, which is absolutely beautiful and is the screensaver on my phone. We see a strong medieval soldier and a classy lady holding up the laurel wreath with the red and white roses. Inside we see the emblem of the old medieval city center of Antwerp and above it the 2-headed eagle of the Holy Roman Empire on its yellow background. Also notice the writing in Latin and the letters SPQA. What does SPQA mean? The Holy Roman Empire saw itself as the successor of the Roman Empire. Of course, that claim was and still is heavily disputed by many parties. However, the point is that one of the most important symbols of the Roman Empire were the letters SPQR, meaning Senatus Populusque Romanus, or the Roman Senate and people. So, within the Roman Empire, and later also within the Holy Roman Empire, the city of Antwerp used the logo SPQA, which stands for Senatus Populusque Antwerpsiensis, meaning the Senate and the people of Antwerp. Even to this day, this is used as symbolism for the city. For example, the mayor of Antwerp, who we saw earlier, wore SPQA on his shirt during the 10 miles run. And here is the information center which they recently built inside the castle in an absolutely dreadful manner. During recent appalling so-called reconstructions, the backside of this beautiful castle was horribly mutilated with some stupid new age walls and big ugly windows. I think this is an absolute crime against our cultural heritage. This is, for example, what I don't like about the mayor. I appreciate the ever ongoing renovations of all of our beautiful old buildings like the cathedral and the city hall to keep them in good shape, but for all of his love for history, tradition and culture, he also allowed this to happen to one of our most beautiful and important historical buildings. This castle has stood here for many centuries and our generation thought it necessary to ruin its backside. I find that absolutely appalling. Here we have some tourists speaking German. Wow, if it wasn't for that ugly mutilated backside, I'd be totally immersed into the times of the Holy Roman Empire with actual Germans around. And here we have a nice view of the river the Schelde. Man, this was such a beautiful summer day. I made these recordings on a Saturday afternoon on the 18th of June 2022 and the temperature was 33 degrees Celsius. Good thing the giant Antigone doesn't live here anymore, or he would be extorting these ships with high taxes. Now we only have the Belgian government to do that. Bravo, we need you back, man. A lot of time went into making this video, but I particularly enjoyed showcasing a part of my beautiful city to you guys. There is a lot more to see and to do here, so tourists, you are all very welcome here. I hope you found my video informative and entertaining. If you did, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel for more similar content coming in the future. Making videos for you guys is a great but time-consuming hobby. I am not monetized yet, so if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, you can find a donation button for PayPal in the description below. If you enjoy historical videos, you can also have a look at some of my other videos about, for example, Julius Caesar or Spartan King Leonidas. As always, I thank you guys for watching and I will see you on the next video. Bye!